Today's lesson is academic language. We will begin with the introduction to academic language, what and why, and we'll talk about the types of academic language. We will have some practices and quizzes before reviewing the lesson. Academic language is the language proficiency for academic purpose. Frequently contrasted with conversational or social language, it includes formal language skills such as vocabulary, grammar, punctuation, syntax, discipline-specific terminology, or rhetorical conventions that allow students to acquire knowledge and academic skills. So, academic language means using academic vocabulary and discourse in the academic context. We need to develop English proficiency concurrently with academic language to succeed in academic settings where English is dominant. So what's the difference between non-academic and academic language? They differ in vocabulary, sentence starter, descriptor, context, and variety. Here we will introduce 14 types of academic language, from informing to evaluating. To inform, we need to use keywords like outweigh, misleading, suggest, and argue to highlight the information. Here, words like indicate, point, and emphasize are keywords we can use to report to acknowledge others' ideas. We can use one similarity between, whereas, and in contrast to make comparison and contrast. These languages help us classify information. We can use consist of, classify, to note that there are several categories. Then, we can use something that are types of, and the most salient of something, to highlight the key characteristics. To represent sequence, we can use first, finally, previously, following, prior to, or initially to show the sequence. What languages do we use when analyzing information? We can use keywords and phrases like interpret, deduce, conclude, appear, and draw parallels between for analysis. Deduct and discern are two important verbs when predicting and making hypotheses. To present our inference, we can use infer, conjecture, and be anticipated. When justifying a statement, using words like believe, primary reason, and convincing to make the statement sound stronger. To persuade the readers, we can use believe, claim, and argue to strengthen our viewpoints, or use outweigh and misleading to point out why our opinion is more reliable. Now, here are the languages to introduce problems and solutions. We can use this problem is, the solution to something is, to solve this problem, we need to. We can also use visualize the problem and critical elements of the solution to make the statements sound more academic. To show how causes and effects relate to each other, we can use words like contribute, a result of, and lead to present the causal relationship between the causes and its effects. Then, we synthesize all information with these languages. We can use these languages as signposts to remind readers the main points, come up with a conclusion, relate different viewpoints, visualize the synthesis, and restate how we build our argument. Finally, how do we evaluate our opinions? The languages such as determined, favorable, scrutinize, judgment, and interpretation are academic languages to help us reveal superiority with these keywords and to make readers agree with the worthiness of our claims. Okay, let's practice what we've learned. Can you identify the function of each sentences? The first one is clear. It is an inference. The second one is classifying, since it is talking about characteristics of groups. The third one tries to persuade readers by explaining why the statistics are misleading. Number 4, we are finding a reason to convince others. We are giving proofs to justify our claims. Number 5 is revealing our position. The last one, we are making judgment based on a careful examination. In other words, we are analyzing factors of an event. Now, are you ready for the quiz? Let's go. The answers are B and C. Did you get them right? Let's have a quick review of today's lesson. Academic language is using vocabulary and discourse in academic context. It is a required proficiency for academic purpose, and the proficiency includes formal language skills to acquire knowledge and academic skills. Thanks for joining us. This online course is funded by the Ministry of Education.